Salutare și bine ați venit la un nou episod din Cărți și Alina, de data asta peste mări și țări sau mai mult țări decât mări. Ne aflăm la o masă undeva într-un oraș, nu contează care. Hai să spunem că suntem la Cioflinceni. Am spus la un moment dat că urmează un filmuleț din Happy Book Friends, care o să fie în engleză. Ei bine, stupare, acesta este acela, episodul. L-avem aici pe David, care este din Ungaria. Salut, David!
Salut!
Hello!
David ne va prezenta niște cărți și niște chestii care îi plac lui foarte mult în engleză. Sper să vă placă treaba asta și chiar vă foarte sugerez să urmăriți, pentru că omul chiar are ce să spună. Așa că, David, ai legătura.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not speaking Romanian, just a little bit.
Yes.
The main words.
You will be punished.
I know. We've been punished since ever, according to Hungarian historians. Yeah, they're holding a knife against my head. And, yeah.
No, just a gun under the table, but it's all right.
Exactly.
No one knows.
Tarantino style.
What's up? Shall I start?
Yes, you should begin, yes.
Yeah, so I wrote three books or authors. Basically, it's James Harriot, gonna be one. The next one is Pratchett, and then Mária Szepes. I don't think he's quite well known. I picked them. It's also kind of like from the easy ones to the very, very more difficult and hardcore. It's Mária Szepes and her book, the Red Lion, or the Elixir of Life, Eternal Life. And yeah, James Harriot, he's one of my first and I think forever green kind of favorite person. He was a veterinarian in the 20th century. Because of him, I wanted to become a vet until I realized that I faint when I see blood. So
That might be a problem. So yeah. You wouldn't be a successful vampire.
Exactly, I would starve till I die. Will I die?
I don't know. Maybe you would eat tomato.
It's Russia. Sure. Kinda. Yeah. Anyway, so. Anyways, yeah, so he started working around 1940, and this is the period we are talking about before the huge industrialization of this whole animal holding keeping. So they still had the farms, and it was much more like people were much more connected in the farms and in the countryside. Yeah, it takes place, the whole thing, in the UK. He's from North England, but he grew up in Scotland, and yeah, he starts working in Yorkshire. And in his books, one of the most famous book is All Creatures Great and Small, which was published in the US, but he wrote 8 books altogether approximately, and yeah, with some extras. But the stories don't really follow. I mean, they're not connected, so you can read whenever you want to, whichever you want to. It's just basically a really interesting way to see how much love he has for the animals, and all the stories are really, really funny. So it's like when you have like 5 to 30 minutes, you just read one of the stories and you're just relaxed and have a huge smile on your face, because it's really all the love he has for the animals and for the people living all around. He's basically describing his own experiences with dogs, with cows, with horses, and all the people living in the village, and with his boss. I mean, the main characters are him, of course, then his boss, Siegfried Farnan, in the books, who is Donald Sinclair in real life, and the third person, the lazy but clever Tristan, who is the younger brother of his boss, Donald. And all the stories are really crazy. I mean, you have a lot of laugh, and it's simply really, really, really fascinating, basically. I think, yeah, about him, I think.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. I was just.
I mean, yeah, just to have a kind of trailer. He really has a very good sense for describing the characters themselves, and it's quite fascinating. Yeah, I was thinking to pick a story or something characteristic about the stories or the characters in
If
the
you don't feel like you're gonna find something like now, you can just go
just
to the
just
next.
really short one. I mean, Tristan is he's a student at that period, and he's always trying to avoid all the work he can do. So basically, he is a lazy bastard.
So he's the boy of Satan or something like that.
No, he's a cool guy. He's really an easygoing guy.
So because
And
he's always trying not to do the work and everything.
yeah, because he's a student. I mean, he likes drinking, hanging out with people, but he's not really into this hard-working stuff. And of course, his older brother, always tries to regulate him and telling him that you should do better, you should have better marks, blah blah blah, and trying to give him tasks. Like it's a kind of kung fu thing. Like you have to learn this skill through, for example, keeping chicken. And they have all this chicken, and of course he's sleeping, he's reading newspaper, going out, getting drunk, and he forgets about the chicken and leaves the door open once, and next time he's looking for the chicken, all of them disappeared. And at the point he finds them on a tree.
What the hell?
Exactly, like he's also like, yeah, what the hell, I will drink a beer. So he's sitting under a tree drinking a beer, and then this is when James Harriot arrives and like, what happened? I don't know. Do you want a beer?
This reminds me of that series of movies, you know, with I think the title was Friday. It was with those two African Americans, if I can call them like that, and they were just sitting all day long on their front porch, smoking weed, and just stuff was happening all around them, and they had just that attitude. Oh yeah, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, so he's one of the characters, and it's much more about the animals and their stories, and it's really sometimes you're laughing, sometimes you're crying, but it's really a huge love what he has towards the animals, and he impresses it quite well. Sorry. So briefly about him. The next person should be then Terry Pratchett,
Of course.
and kind of in memoriam, because he died recently. And I have to admit that I started quite lately reading Terry Pratchett, because somehow in Hungary it was always published with these really colorful books, and among the kind of fantasy which was for me like, you know, with the funny names like, I don't know, Hulk, the Blood Hungry, and all this weird stuff.
That's how they are in Romanian too. So.
Yeah, and for me it was like, yeah, interesting, but whatever. But when I started, it was really love at first sight. And I started with, oh my god, with which book I started? It was with the Hollywood. Basically, he has this Discord series. He became famous, let's say, quite late, in the 80s, when he wrote the first book, the Color of Magic. And just to sum up a bit, the Discworld is, I mean, he creates a whole world, and to separate the novels are not connecting, so you can start wherever you want to, and on the internet there are a lot of suggestions how you should start, but basically whichever you want to, you can start. All the novels, in my interpretation, they are like metaphors for different topics. For example, the one I started reading, and it's a shame I can't remember the title.
It's alright, you're gonna write the title on a piece of paper or something,
Yep.
and we're gonna just put a picture near your head.
Moving pictures, yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Picture. Moving pictures. It was about it's the whole idea of the movies, Hollywood, and so basically he takes a lot of quotations from famous books and stuff. He builds in the whole idea about how Hollywood and the movies can create a separated world with their magic, with their own rules and stuff. So it's really fascinating, and so all the books describe one topic in different ways. The small gods about basically the believing in gods, and in a really, really funny, very ironic way, making fun of all these stereotypes, what we know, what we're using.
This is really new information for me. I always thought that Terry Pratchett wrote fantasy and that was it, just like you said at the beginning of your description of Terry Pratchett. So maybe I should really start reading him, because reading his books, I mean, because he's dead, and I cannot read him, but actually him. But his books seem really, really interesting.
You might like it. I didn't like it in the first place. I read the first book I read was the first book ever published in Romania, Color of Magic. I tried to. I read it, but I didn't dig it that much, because as you said before, all the names were translated, and it was pretty awkward. And then I had the chance to get the book in English, and I saw the real names, and I was like, oh my god, what did they do with those names in Romanian? It was a total crap. It was the same that they did with the translation from Lord of the Rings. They completely changed all the names, and in Romanian it had a stupid meaning.
Yeah.
Totally different than the one in English. But most likely you will like Terry Pratchett, because it's not that bad.
And
For
maybe
you.
all our viewers will like him too. Yay!
Yeah.
So carrying on.
Yeah, basically, I mean, I don't know, it was really, for me it was a love at first sight, because the jokes he makes, it's really a lot of under the surface, and the whole fantasy thing, I mean, as I consider a lot of times, it's just a cover. It's a really one of the interviews actually, Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, when we wrote the book together, The Good Omens, and they made also an interview, and Neil Gaiman is telling about him that he's a kind of satirist, like he's writing satires, really like a curved mirror showing us about all the topics. So the fantasy thing is just a background where it takes place, where you can do anything. So it's I really suggest to start reading quite some. But I mean, for me, the moving pictures is ever since one of the best. Which was just a short note. It was really funny when I read Witches Abroad. It was right the moment when this whole refugee thing hit in, and I was also posting on Facebook quite some quotations from the book, because it was exactly matching the topic. I mean, there are these three witches leaving their village the first time in their life, and it's the first time they're experiencing the foreigners. I mean, basically everybody who is like 5 kilometers from their village, they are foreigners already. And all these things they start talking gibberish, like saying that garçon, 3 plates of whatever, silver plate. That is like silver plate? Silver plate. And they were just translating to themselves all the words they could, so they were using this clever language, and there was really a lot of very cool stuff, like understanding others and trying to be more accepting other cultures without preference and stuff. So it's really a good read. Coming to the last person, Mária Szepes. She she wrote her book in 19. I mean, actually, the book I'm talking about, The Red Lion, she wrote it like in 5 years, and she published it in 46. But then they immediately banned the book. So actually, in Hungary, the first time it appeared, it was 84, I think. Yeah, 84. So for 40 years it was banned, and originally they ordered back all the books were published to destroy them all.
That's just like in a way, just like in Fahrenheit.
Exactly, because they said that it's against the regime, against everything we know, and it's awful. I have to admit, and I think if you would ask my family, they still remember when I read the book, because after I finished, for like 3 days I was like a ghost in the flat. Like I couldn't talk with anybody. I was just staring at the wall. And the story, briefly and without being a spoiler, it's like 400 years. It starts in the 16th, 17th, 16th century, and we are following the life of a guy being reincarnated, different, and it's extremely complex, the whole thing. It's based on alchemy. She uses a lot of symbols and symbolical meanings. It's a travel through history and also travel through the life of a person who reaches different levels of knowledge, trying to reach the, let's say, nirvana or the enlightenment or stuff. So he's in search of this whole stuff. And the further you read, it's getting more and more creepy. I mean, besides that, it's really, the whole story is really adventurous and very interesting. In different lives, you meet people who you know from his other lives. And it takes place from Germany to Rome, and we meet from Casanova to Louis XVI, so really various persons.
It reminds me of the tragedy of men, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Because of that time traveling and...
Yeah, although... Yeah, we can put it this way. I mean, I wouldn't compare, but now that you said that, it's an interesting comparison. Although this book much more focuses on the person, and through him, basically a kind of developmental experience is described, how you can reach different levels of understanding the world, basically. I mean, it's really a mind-blowing book, honestly. Till now, this is the first book I always say that this had the most effect on me. It was really...
And I must tell you, because I have a big obsession with Atlas Shrugged, and I really terrorize everyone with this title, because I really like this title, and I always destroy people's minds just repeating that title. And considering that you said that this is mind-blowing, it's a must-read, but can you tell us if we can really find the book, since it was banned? Now is it translated in English or something, so we can...
Exactly. It's so it also appeared in Hungary quite late, as I said, in the 80s, and it's funny. The first appearance of the book, it was published from the US, because there was a publishing house in the US publishing in Hungarian, but lately it appeared also in English and in German, if anybody reads German. But I think on Amazon and on the internet and from several sources it can
Book depositories, yeah, you find it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I read quite some also recently now that it has the opportunity to talk about this book. I read quite some reviews and really quite high. It was highly rated, and like if anybody is more into the spirituality and alchemy, it was really highly rated from official alchemy guilds or whatever. But the book is simply an interesting reading, and I remember it in one of the interviews also Mária Szepes was saying that I didn't want to write a dry book of facts and stuff because I shouldn't tell stories or whatever about history, about art in a boring way. I want to make it fascinating. I want to fascinate people. So she tried to sum up her experiences and stuff in an amusing way.
You have to light your cigarette again, that's what he was trying to. And that is not a cigarette, kids, that's an incense stick.
Exactly.
Children.
It's an electronic.
It's a lollipop.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so basically that's all.
Thank you very much for presenting all those wonderful titles to
Köszönöm.
us.
Szívesen. Pratchett.
Well, to me,
Actually, I thank you for the opportunity. I mean,
and we thank you for sharing with us your wonderful pieces of literature. Yes, literature.
Literature.
Yes.
this presentation could have gone through without Vienna. Thank you. My parents, I would like to thank you, Alexandra.
Well, until next time, friends. Goodbye.
Thank you. La rivedere.